Okay, this is the evaluation for Chrome DevTools Power User 2. I'm going to go through each skill and talk about how to use each one. Number one, we're going to talk about console errors and how to find bugs in your JavaScript code. So what I've done here is I created a little HTML that adds two numbers together. What we'll do is we'll add two numbers in here. We'll hit OK, and we're getting 24. That is not correct. So let's see if we're getting any errors maybe that could help us out with that. So we're going to go to inspect to bring up our DevTools console, and then we're going to hit console, and oh, it's already showing us we got an error, and it's already telling us where we got to go. So in our index.html line 13, and in the get numbers function, which is at index HTML 11. So let's go to, so you can click on this or you can click on sources. I clicked on it, so it's going to go ahead and highlight, and we see line 11 is our function, and line 13 is what's inside of our function is getting the error. As you can see here, it's saying that we cannot read the property value of null. So a quick fix for that is, let's go ahead and take our script, we'll cut it out, put it at the bottom, do a refresh. As you can see, our error is gone because now I can get the values that we have inputted for our numbers. Go back to our sources. So let's talk about setting and watching breakpoints. So what we can do is we know that when we add our numbers together, 2, 3, it's just putting them together. It's not adding them together. It's combining them. So let's set a breakpoint at our function to see what's going on here. So you can hit OK, restart, and you can see when it runs our function, it pauses right whenever our function gets called, get numbers. All right, and in here we could see, well, this is the function that's messing up, because if you had a whole bunch of functions, a whole bunch of other inputs and stuff, and you were clicking OK on other things, it may not get an error, and then you run into this one, you see that, oh, well, this function, we need to go into it, and we can set a breakpoint there. That way we know which one we're checking out. And then we can look in here and say, well, it is getting a value. It is also getting another value, and it's adding them together here. So it looks like maybe it's adding together strings. That's why it's putting side by side like that. So what we can do is parse int these two. And now, once we've changed that, let's go back here. Let's change this to a 1, 2, hit OK. We're getting 12. Oh, got to refresh our code here. Sorry about that. Try that again. And we're getting the proper numbers now. So, another thing you want to talk about is setting conditional breakpoints. In here, if you want to, let's say, add a conditional breakpoint. Let's say number 1. Anytime number 1 is larger than 4, it'll break. So as long as this number is not larger than 4, it won't break. As soon as it is larger than 4, it breaks. Now you can do this to see, like, if you have a function that's cracking under a certain value, if it goes over or beyond or below or a different value, as in a string or a number, you can set it to break. That way you know which function it's having that error in. And that's also in the global and function scope. If you could set a condition for like number one or number two to be larger than 4, but then it won't affect any other functions that are using this let number one or let number two. If you was to set a condition on these to say if these were greater than a certain number, like if you were using, I guess, React or something, where it would change the state of a global variable instead of a one that's inside of a function, then you could set it to break on the global variable change instead of the local variable inside the function. And that's pretty much Chrome DevTools Power User 2. Thank you.